Come along with me. My mum just threw down an ultimatum, forcing me into a sudden date.
It is with the older Shen daughter, a billionaire CEO famous for being ruthless, cold, and a total ice queen.
They say she is not just distant, but she also struggles with a pretty severe bipolar disorder.
Her mood swings are wild, so to ruin this arranged marriage, I decided to act like a useless, lazy slacker.
But what I do not get is why she's looking at me like that.
Staring at me as if I was some kind of incredibly rare treasure.
Her Majesty, my mother, called and immediately started screaming at me. Her tone was too fierce to even reply.
Lucian, get your butt over to the Tinyu Pavilion for that blind date right now.
The other person is Sheng Qingchu, their oldest daughter. If you dare ruin this, I will freeze all your credit cards. Me, Lu Xin. I am the only rightful heir to the Lu family. My ultimate life goal is just 2 words.
Do nothing. To reach that great goal, I have been diligently faking it for over 20 years.
I became a spoiled rich kid. But get this, they are forcing me to date the legendary Ice Queen.
A woman of ruthless tactics, with emotions that could completely collapse at any single second. Shen Xingxu. Is this some joke? Whatever, I have to trash this. I arrived at Tinyu Pavilion, luxury private club, VIP room 3.
I showed up late on purpose, a full 30 minutes behind. I swung the door open, humming a random tune, totally relaxed.
The woman sitting across from me heard the noise. As she looked up, I felt the room temperature instantly plummet. She wore a flawless, custom-tailored white suit.
Her features were so perfect they did not have a single flaw. So this is Shen Qingchu. Wow, she is gorgeous.
What a stunning face and incredible body. Too bad she's a walking iceberg and a complete workaholic.
I heard she has bipolar disorder, swinging out of control from extreme joy to absolute depression.
Whoever marries her will have the worst luck ever. I need to be fast, make her block me in 3 sentences and get back to my luxury life.
I flashed a smug playboy smirk. Now pay attention to how my master plan officially begins. I crossed my legs with total confidence. Miss Shen, right? I am so incredibly sorry for making you wait. The traffic out there was absolute hell. Shen Qingchu's hand, about to pick up her glass, froze just a bit.
She locked her eyes on me, and for the very first time, a flash of confusion crossed her face.
Waiter, the menu. Miss Shen, order whatever you want. Do not be shy. My treat today, I said generously. After all, it is just my dad's money. I do not care. Order fast so we can leave. This cheap chair is awful.
My butt is actually hurting. It does not compare to my home setup. My ergonomic gaming chair is 1,000 times better.
Shang Qingchu's gaze grew even more strange. There was no disgust, and her lips even curved into a tiny smile.
An illusion. It must be an illusion. You decide, Mr. Li. Then I will order the most expensive caviar and let us open an 82 Lafitte. Though this caviar is way too salty. And this so-called fine wine tastes like industrial alcohol watered down.
If she accepts this, her taste is pretty mediocre. I would 1,000 times rather go home and drink my own plum wine.
Shen Qingchu's knuckles turned completely pale as she gripped her glass with force.
She looked at me, a strange emotion showing in her eyes. Just bring me a glass of warm water, thanks. I do not drink wine. I am allergic to alcohol. Seconds later, I wondered, why is this woman not following the script?
Should she not be storming out in anger right now?
Why is she still talking? I must push harder. Miss Shen, you are stunning. Be my girlfriend. I do not have big goals. My family is super broke, and the only thing we have is dirty money.
Stay with me and I guarantee designer brands every single day and luxury sports cars.
That should disgust anyone. I waited in silence for her to throw the warm water right in my face.
But Shen Qingchu just stared at me in silence, studying me like I was some priceless discovery.
Her phone buzzed with a work notification. She immediately frowned, looking annoyed and in actual pain.
It is the warning of an oncoming bipolar episode. Perfect. Just lose your mind already.
Judging by her face, trouble is coming. Stick with me to find out what happens next.
The issue is in the quarterly report. Call the heads of finance and sales right now.
Stick with me here. Compare the data in the table and you will find the error in 30 minutes. Let her go home. Suddenly, Xing grabbed her phone and started typing at lightning speed across the screen.
Seconds later, she put the phone down. Amazingly, all the stress and pain on her face vanished in the blink of an eye.
That heavy tension evaporated. She stared at me, studying my nervous yet overly enthusiastic face.
Her red lips curl into a tiny smile. We can try, you know. Let us give it a shot.
Give it a shot? My smile instantly froze. It felt like a punch to the gut. Try what? Trying to cremate me and scatter my ashes?
Is this woman completely out of her mind? I acted like the most useless, pathetic loser, and she still agreed to date?
So she actually likes guys like this. A faint smile flickered deep in Shen's eyes. You heard right. We can start dating and get to know each other. I stood there, jaw dropped, completely speechless.
This was not the plan. She was supposed to scream and kick me out of here.
The date was supposed to fail so I could go home and be lazy. What is this madness? I am completely doomed this time.
Pay attention here. If my mum finds out I won over the boss, she will definitely make me work at her company.
She will trap me in an office. My beautiful lazy life, my massive feasts, my homemade rice wine.
Is all of that just going to vanish? Shen Qingqiu saw my pale face and gently served me some steamed sea bass.
You do not look well. Eat some. I stared blankly at the piece of fish on my plate.
It was like looking at a hot piece of iron. This woman is crazy. The more useless I act, the more interested she gets. Is this that legendary contrarian complex? Shen Qingqiu slowly raised her eyes.
She locked her eyes on me, treating me like a spoiled kid. I do not like caviar or wine. I prefer Chinese food.
What a coincidence, me too. Especially this steamed sea bass cooked to the exact right temperature.
The chef is quite good. Too bad I have zero appetite right now. She completely ignored my miserable expression.
She ate with flawless elegance, though she seemed to be holding back a massive laugh. Fine then.
I will drag her to an internet cafe all night, then eat spicy hot pot at a street stall. No billionaire boss survives that.
We finished eating. I bolted out of there like a wild dog off its leash, feeling like I barely escaped an execution.
I know what you are thinking, and yes, the moment I got in, my mum called saying Shen is totally thrilled.
Mum, it is a misunderstanding. No, son, she told me you were genuinely authentic and not pretentious at all.
Unlike those cheap, arrogant guys, I froze. Authentic? What absolute nonsense. Can she read minds? No, impossible, totally impossible. I hung up, slammed on the gas, and shot off like a rocket. What I did not know was that after I left, her assistant Cheng Jing looked completely dumbfounded.
Boss Shen, are you serious? Do you actually want to go out with that young Master Lu?
Since yesterday, her bipolar disorder had entered a manic phase. Her entire body felt like a powder keg ready to explode. Everything she looked at irritated her. But right now, hearing Lu Shinian's sarcastic inner thoughts,
Those tightly wound nerves in her head that were about to snap.
Suddenly relaxed. Those chaotic thoughts were like a sweet melody, soothing all her intense emotions. This was the first time in 5 years she managed to escape the darkness without relying on medication.
Changing, look up some info. Find the most famous spicy hot pot stall in the south side of town.
Where is it located? Shen Qingqiu offered no explanation and just smirked. An overnight internet cafe and a street stall? Over the next few days, I could not stop panicking. I did not step out of my house for 3 straight days. I locked myself in, brewing grape wine, trying to numb my fragile heart. I cannot handle this stressful life anymore. My plan to slack off is officially ruined. What on earth does Shen Qingqiu find so appealing about me anyway?
Does she honestly think that I pose absolutely zero threats?
That I am her perfect toy? Suddenly, my phone rang at the worst moment, and 3 big words flashed on screen. It was Shen Qingqiu. My hand shook so hard I almost dropped my glass of grape juice on the floor.
Hey there, gorgeous lady Shen. Miss me already? I am bored at home. How about we head out for some fun?
Let us ruin each other, and trust me, the chaos waiting for us on that southern street is going to be wild.
Talk about a luxury package. Fine, just wait at home, someone will pick you up. And she hung up instantly.
All right, stay with me, because things are about to get wild. 30 minutes later, a luxury Bentley pulls up to my door.
I wore a skull tee, ripped jeans and sandals on purpose, slid into the car with style. She just stared at me.
Her eyes locked onto my sandals for exactly 0.1 seconds. Yes, judge me and kick me out already.
Drive? Wait, where are we going? Didn't you have this whole thing planned out? How did she know? Did those 4 rich kids blab? Whatever, I am sticking to my original plan.
To the southern night market. The driver swerved in shock. Qingjing looked at me like I was a straight-up alien.
Wow, she was the only one completely stone-faced. The vibe in the car instantly became super awkward.
I had to break the ice. Miss Shen, what do you do for fun? Please, no talk of work, stocks or funds.
Just hearing those words gives me a massive headache.
Reviewing contracts, meetings, and dealing with idiots. I knew it. She really is an incredibly boring woman.
No life outside of work. What a tragedy. Suddenly, she stopped speaking and stared right at me.
And you, besides slacking off, what do you do? Me? I drink, hit the bars, and play video games.
When life is good, you gotta live it up. I just do whatever makes me happy.
Though I prefer working out, trying new recipes, making wine, and watching indie films. Bars are way too loud.
Wow, I like movies too. Do you watch The Wolf of Wall Street or The Godfather? This workaholic probably only watches blockbusters to learn how to exploit employees. She gently shook her head.
But check this out. She answered Kikujiro. I froze completely. Kikujiro?
That emotional, heartwarming movie? She actually watches stuff like that. Looking at her cold face, my heart raced.
This woman is nothing like the image I had of her. We arrived and the market was packed.
I was strolling in sandals while she, in her designer outfit, looked like a goddess lost among mortals.
People gave us pitiful looks, wondering why such a beauty was walking with such a beast.
Yes, exactly like that. Let her feel the pressure of all those judging eyes.
See, we are not from the same world. If you can't take it, just leave. I dragged her through the crowded spots.
Miss Shin, look how lively it is. Let's play. I knew she was at her limit, but she just nodded.
Wow, she still won't leave. Just a little more pressure and she'll crack. All right then. Today, you'll experience real street food. I dragged her to a spicy soup stall. Boss, 2 extra spicy bowls.
Super spicy. Miss Shen, are you used to this? She stared at the boiling pot of red broth in absolute silence.
Qingjing, her assistant, looked like she was about to cry.
She kept making desperate gestures, pleading with her eyes to say she couldn't take it and leave.
Suddenly, an arrogant voice cut in. Well, well, if it isn't young Master Lu eating this utter trash.
Lin Qian has always hated me. Beside him, his little lackey sneered with mocking faces.
You and I need to see this guy's face. It was a mix of pure shock and jealousy.
Miss Shen, what are you doing here? She didn't even bother to glance his way.
Lin Shen had to take his rage out on me. Lu Shen, how dare you bring Boss Shen to a dump like this?
How dare you drag her to such a filthy place? What are you plotting?
I like it. So what? Why do you care? This idiot is actually helping me out. Keep those insults coming.
This'll finally make her lose all interest in me. Boss Shen, don't let this guy fool you. He's just an uneducated loser. Hanging out with him is beneath you. The crowd around us was growing rapidly.
I was dying of laughter inside. Yes, lay it on thick.
Insult me, call me trash and scum if you want. Right at that moment, she finally reacted.
She slowly looked up and gave Lin Qian a freezing glare. Are you done talking nonsense? I'm doing this for you, boss.
Her lips curled slightly into an extremely cold smile.
And trust me, you're gonna love this. She naturally reaches out.
She grabbed my arm, saying she knows better than anyone else whether I'm useless or not.
Even if he is useless, I like him. Stick with me, because that confession left the entire night market dead silent.
Lin Sixin's jaw completely hits the floor. What on earth did she just say?
She likes me? No way. Boss, you are the cold CEO here. Your entire reputation just went down the drain.
Looks like Sheng Qing Chu noticed how stiff I was. She grabbed my arm and held on even tighter. Then she dragged me to a greasy table. Boss, 2 bowls of spicy noodles, 1 with 0 spice. Thanks, boss. Snapping out of his daze, the stall owner quickly turned around to start cooking. Lin Zixian's face turned purple with pure rage. Shen Qingshu, you are going to regret this. He spat out a bitter threat and left with his lackey.
Watching his pathetic exit, I felt zero satisfaction.
I just want to bury my head and cry. Boss, what exactly are you trying to do here?
Tomorrow's headlines will definitely say the Ice Queen CEO is madly in love with a nobody.
How am I supposed to live in peace after this? The spicy noodles arrived at our table.
Ignoring the chaos, Ching-Chu elegantly picked up her chopsticks, slowly chewed a vegetable, and asked, "Aren't you eating?"
Pay close attention here, because this woman is terrifying. My mind is spinning and she is ignoring all logic.
I feel like a trapped monkey king, no matter how I struggle. I grab my chopsticks and eat distractedly.
The spice rushed straight to my head. Suddenly, a clean white handkerchief appeared before me. It was hers.
If you cannot handle spice, do not push it. I took it to wipe my burning face quickly.
I do not know if it was the spice or something else, but I could not sleep.
Shang Ching-Chu's words kept echoing in my head over and over. Even if he is useless, I like him.
The next morning, I walked downstairs with massive dark circles. Son, look at this. You were on the front page. I looked closer and almost fainted. Shocking exclusive. The billionaire Shen Ching-Chu is engaged to the Liu family. Defending him publicly at the night market. In the photo, she looked like a powerful, protective knight.
Well, I look like a helpless wife hiding right behind her. My vision went completely blurry.
It is over. Everything is ruined. My hard-earned reputation as a lazy slacker is totally destroyed.
I know what you are thinking. Now the whole city thinks I am a weak husband. My phone started buzzing like crazy.
It was just spam from my annoying friends congratulating me. I threw my phone aside in frustration.
Then an unknown number calls. Who is this? Am I speaking to Master Liu? I am Tianjing, her assistant. Something happened to the boss. My heart sank. What is it? Did those noodles yesterday really make her sick? Did they actually send her straight to the hospital?
Does that make me the bad guy? No, today the boss locked herself in and refuses to see anyone.
I am worried about her. She stopped talking, but I understood. Shen Ching-Chu's bipolar disorder was acting up.
It is the depressive phase. Did this happen often before? Yes, but this time it is extremely severe.
Young Master Liu, could you please come? Yesterday with you, she looked better than she has in years. Better than in years? I felt completely silent. What good would I do? I am not a doctor. Besides, I am trying to run away from her as fast as possible. Her well-being has nothing to do with me.
Send me the address. I hung up and scratched my head in anger. Man, I must be going crazy.
Fine, I will just call this paying her back for yesterday's noodles. That is all it is. I am just paying her back for those noodles. I will see how she is doing and then leave immediately.
I will not stay a single minute longer. Half an hour later, I was already at Yusing Group. Shen Qing-Chu built this massive office tower and business district entirely on her own. Built it all through pure hard work. Chen Jing was already waiting for me anxiously in the lobby. See, mate, she looked like she found her savior. Master Liu, you're finally here. She led me upstairs. Several top executives were pacing back and forth nervously. When they saw me, they all froze in shock. They had weird looks on their faces and could not even hide their pure contempt for me. Chen Jing pushed open the heavy doors and gestured for me to enter. I walked inside toward the massive windows. In her suit, Shen Qing-Chu stood looking as fragile as a wounded butterfly. Trust me, you will want to see what happens next. All right, walk with me here because Shen Qing-Chu did not even look my way. I had to force myself closer. Your assistant told me you locked yourself in here. What is going on? Did the company go bankrupt? Man, this room feels suffocating. What am I even supposed to say to comfort her? No clue. Maybe a joke. Wait, never mind. My jokes are terrible. Best not to try.
Shen Qing-Chu still was not reacting at all. I was losing my patience. Hey, say something.
Are you mute? What is she playing at by staying completely silent? Did you call me here just for show? Shen Qing-Chu finally turned around slowly. I froze on the spot. Her face was completely blank, but her eyes looked like a bottomless abyss of despair and death. It felt like an invisible hand was violently squeezing my heart. It hurt. Go away. You are not welcome here. Get out. I do not know where this sudden anger came from, but I grabbed her wrist tightly. I came all this way. Do you seriously think I am just going to leave because you asked? I would lose my dignity, you know?
Wow, why are her hands so freezing cold?
What a drag! I pulled her and made her sit on the sofa. Just stay still and do not move.
I walked over and got to work quickly. No coffee. That would only make anxiety worse. Is there any milk in the fridge? All right, I will warm up a glass of milk. Within seconds, a steaming hot glass of milk was right in front of her.
Drink it. Pay close attention here. A faint glimmer appeared in her empty eyes, but she did not budge.
Frustrated, I picked up the glass and brought it to her lips. I told you to drink. Do you not understand me?
But Shang Qingchu, like she was hypnotized, obediently opened her mouth and drank it all in tiny sips.
The warm milk went down her throat, slowly heating up her cold, tense body. The moment she finished, I slammed the glass on the table.
Great, you drank the milk and my debt is paid. I am leaving. I spun around to walk away without hesitation.
I need to get out of here fast. I feel like if I stay another minute, I will get depressed too.
Seriously, this woman is completely ruining my plans to just relax and enjoy my life.
I walked to the door, and right as my hand touched the knob, I heard her trembling voice behind me say, "Do not leave."
Do you see where this is going? I stopped dead without turning. Is she clinging to me? I am not her emotional dumpster.
Stay. Shen Qing's voice was still soft, but it sounded much clearer now. Stay with me for a while.
I clicked my tongue in annoyance. Are you paying me a salary? I absolutely hate this kind of suffocating drama.
For that, I would rather just go home and play some video games, though I was only thinking that in my head.
Yet my feet seemed glued to the floor, totally unable to move.
I felt soft footsteps behind me, and suddenly she gently tugged the edge of my shirt. I stood still. Stay here. Stay with me for just 1 hour.
I'll give you the city's west side land owned by the Yuanshin Group. I whipped my head around in shock. That piece of land.
That is the most valuable property in the entire city right now. The most exclusive prime location.
And now she is saying she will just give it to me. What a ridiculously wasteful woman.
Gifting an entire massive plot of land like it is nothing. Does she think her family owns a bank or something?
Oh, right. Her family actually does own a bank. This woman is completely out of her mind. She stared at me in absolute anticipation.
Her eyes reflected a fearful hope, like a small animal terrified of being abandoned by its owner.
All of my annoyance instantly evaporated. Who would even want your silly plot of land?
I turned back around and sat down. Exactly 1 hour, not a minute more. Shen Qing's eyes immediately lit up like fireworks.
She settled into the single armchair next to mine and just sat there, watching me in silence.
The vibe got super tense again. Her intense gaze was making me extremely uncomfortable.
What are you staring at? Have you never seen a handsome guy before? I feel like a monkey in a zoo.
I pulled my phone out of my pocket and started scrolling through short videos. This dog is so dumb.
What a ridiculous filter. I am laughing so hard. I completely ignored Shen Qingchu, but she actually smiled a bit watching me.
She just sat there in silence, her expression growing softer and more tender. Without even realizing it, that heavy tension in the office completely vanished. Honestly, the hour flew by. My alarm went off. I stood up quickly. Time is up, I am leaving. Free at last, though she did look pretty pitiful earlier.
That is where we leave it today. Next morning, my dad woke me up yelling, "Lu Shen, you miserable brat."
All right, come along with me as my furious dad screams at me to get downstairs over a prime downtown land plot.
I completely froze. She actually gifted it to me. What on earth does the gorgeous Shang Qingchu see in you?
I have seen people gift cars or houses, but a prime plot of land, that is new, and I want answers too.
This became the biggest mystery in our social circle. Absolutely nobody could wrap their heads around it. People are whispering that I must be blackmailing Shen Qingchu. It makes me roll my eyes. I seriously wish that was true, but I do not even have her phone number memorized. This whole land deal completely flipped my dad's opinion of me upside down. He even asked if I want to do intern at the family company for experience. I panicked so hard, waving my hands in desperate denial. Is this some kind of sick joke? Working a corporate office job is literally a fate worse than death itself. That afternoon, I was at home carefully brewing my special peach blossom wine when Shang Qingchu suddenly called, making my hand shake.
Why is she calling again? Didn't we agree this was a one-time favor? I sighed in defeat and picked up.
What is it now? There is a charity gala tonight.
Come with me. Now pay close attention to her tone here, because it is impossible to turn her down.
She sounded so bossy. I told her I would not go. Those fancy parties are just boring and incredibly tedious.
Just fake people sucking up to each other. I would much rather stay home and drink in peace. It is way more comfortable, plus I would have to squeeze into a stiff suit that suffocates me.
Then she mentioned Lin Zixian would be there too. I froze. What is that idiot up to now?
He probably wants to pick a fight and show off in front of her. This annoying rival just will not leave me alone. But honestly, what do I care?
He has been chasing her like a madman. That idiot cannot take a hint. He is like a toad wishing to eat swan meat.
Even if this gorgeous swan has a screw loose, she is not someone a pathetic toad like him can easily touch.
Just give me the time and address. On the other end of the line, a victorious smile spread across her face.
That evening, I begrudgingly threw on the suit and finally showed up at the high-end charity gala.
Sheng Qingshu was waiting at the door, and trust me, she looked absolutely stunning in her elegant backless black dress.
She casually walked right up and grabbed my arm, saying, "You are finally here." But I needed to set boundaries.
I am just your human shield tonight. Once this party ends, we are even. Seriously, why is she so breathtaking today?
Her bare back looks so flawlessly fair. Do not stare. She suddenly tensed up as a cute blush crept onto her ears.
Right on cue, the incredibly annoying Lin Zixian walked over holding a wine glass.
His eyes went completely bloodshot when he saw us. Lo Xin, you useless trash. What right do you have to stand next to Boss Shen? Talking to this idiot is just a total waste of time. He kept whining, "Boss Shen, you need to open your eyes."
Just then, the major businessman, President Wang, joined us. "Qing Chu, who is this?" he demanded before she could even answer.
Lin Zixian quickly jumped in. "President Wang, this is Lu Xin, the notoriously lazy and troublesome heir of the Lu family."
President Wang shot me a look of pure disdain. Just another arrogant old guy judging people before actually knowing them.
Hey there, President Wang. I am Lu Xin. Everyone calls me trash, but honestly, being lazy is absolutely fantastic. Eating and drinking with zero worries is incredibly relaxing. Naturally, President Wang scowled with deep annoyance at my reply. Lin Zixian looked extremely smug, while I just stood there quietly doing some mental calculations.
That rare Hangsha Yuzi wine the president keeps as his absolute pride and joy is basically ruined because he stored it completely wrong, letting it spoil. Give it about 3 more months and that expensive liquor will be completely ruined.
Suddenly, Shen Qinchu, who was still holding my arm, spoke up. "President Wang, I heard you recently acquired some exclusive Hangzhi wine?"
President Wang looked surprised and let out a hearty laugh, saying, "Qingshu, your information sources are incredibly fast."
Indeed, it is my most precious treasure, she nodded softly, throwing a highly mischievous glance right in my direction. This young Master Lu with me might seem completely carefree in their daily life, but he actually possesses massive knowledge when it comes to fine wines. Xin, did you not mention having unique opinions about the president's valuable wine? Why not share that brilliant knowledge with him?
When on earth did I say that out loud? I was only thinking it in my head. I whipped my head around to look at her.
She just stared back with a completely innocent face. Wait a minute. Can she actually hear my inner thoughts?
My world completely stopped. I stared in horror. She can hear me. You and I have to stay tuned for the next chapter.
Don't go anywhere. We're about to watch this poor guy realize she's been hearing his every thought. I poured my heart out, and instead of being annoyed, she just got more and more invested. It turns out she was reading my mind this whole time. Yes, she heard every single embarrassing thought. She was basically treating me like a total clown. My face drained of color instantly. Cold sweat covered my forehead. She even gave me a wink that felt like a message from the devil.
"Young Master Lu has an opinion on my wine. Please share it," Lin Zixian mocked with a sneer.
What would a spoiled brat like him know about fine wine? My mind is in complete chaos. What do I say? If I tell them I can predict the future, they'll think I'm insane. Shen Jingchu gave me a gentle nudge. Don't touch me, just speak the truth. My body shivered.
This is no illusion. You can actually speak to me without even opening your mouth.
Yes, hurry up. President Wang is still waiting. Don't embarrass me. All my crazy dating complaints.
My jokes at the night market, my whining in the office. She knew everything. Every single detail, you idiot.
Watch closely, because right here, this isn't just an embarrassing loss, it's my absolute funeral.
My face turned from pale to green as sweat dripped. I took a deep breath to calm down.
President Wang, is your bottle of Imperial Jade Yellow wine stored inside your study room?
Tucked inside that sandalwood cabinet, the president's entire facial expression instantly shifted.
His condescending look vanished, replaced by pure shock. Go on, he said. Yellow wine is fragile and hates sudden temperature changes.
If you drank that bottle right now,
The first sip would taste fine, but the aftertaste would be slightly sour. Screw it, I'm risking everything.
Call me a fortune teller, but store it like that for 3 more months and it's ruined.
By then, it'll be pure vinegar. President Wang stared right at me.
Cold sweat broke out on his forehead too. Suddenly, he slapped his thigh, ordering the wine and Master Li.
Master Li was the top sommelier in the country. Soon, they brought the bottle over.
Under everyone's watchful eyes, Master Li opened the bottle, poured the wine, took a sniff, and sipped. Throughout the whole process, everyone held their breath, too afraid to make even a single sound. Seconds later, Master Li slowly placed his glass back onto the table, turned to President Wang with a serious face, confirming this young man's words were completely accurate. Absolute madness. You and I both know the crowd's losing their minds right now, staring at me like some freak.
Turning my head toward the mastermind next to me, Shen Xingqiu was glancing sideways at me.
A strange, unseen light sparkled in her beautiful eyes. Doesn't it feel great being a hero? Like hell it does.
Just you wait, Shen Qingqiu. For the rest of the banquet, I was the main attraction. President Wang grabbed my hands, nearly in tears. Honestly, neither of us expected to become like brothers. Acting like a perfect hostess, Shen Xingqiu gracefully helped me block out all the annoying, unwanted guests.
That bald guy on the left is in real estate. Ignore him. The heavy man on the right is his rival.
Just talk to him about food, drinks, and having fun. He loves that. Don't scowl. Keep smiling.
You look much better smiling than crying. I felt like a puppet as she pulled all my strings.
I barely survived until the end. Sitting inside her Bentley, I finally lost my cool and exploded.
Cheng Qingqiu, what exactly are you trying to do? She stared back at me with a smirk.
It was like she was amused by an angry kitten. I don't want anything. You're just quite interesting.
I was so mad I almost coughed up blood. Interesting, you're treating me like a total clown.
How funny. I'm not mocking you.
Her face grew totally serious. I much prefer listening to your inner thoughts over reading those incredibly dry, boring financial reports.
It's 10,000 times more entertaining. So you knew everything about my clever little dating schemes?
Yes, especially the part where you wanted to take me to an internet cafe overnight. Highly creative.
My mind went blank. Trust me, you and I can both agree that's a total invasion of privacy.
You and I are going to lose our minds over this. Sue me. Let's see if the judge believes you.
Completely defeated, I gave up fighting and slumped into my seat like a wet rag. What do you want from me?
are you keeping our telepathy alive just to hear my daily complaints and laugh at me?
Lucian, have you ever actually thought about what your inner voice means to me? I completely froze.
Free comedy. I have bipolar disorder. When I am manic, I just want to destroy the entire world.
And when I get depressed, I just want to jump. She pointed at the skyscrapers outside the window.
My heart literally stopped. But since the day I met you and heard your thoughts, everything changed.
If I get irritated, hearing you complain miraculously calms my wild emotions.
When I am desperate, hearing you ramble about delicious food, wine, and movies makes me feel like this world is not so bad. Slowly, she reached out and gently placed her hand over mine.
Lucian, your inner voice is my medicine, the only cure that can heal me in this incredibly cold world.
My brain completely short-circuited. Looking into her sincere eyes, I felt my heart drop into the abyss for the first time.
She actually means it. My thoughts are her cure. Pay attention to the absolute silence inside the car now.
She looked like a prisoner waiting for her verdict. I stared, speechless. Medicine? You are giving me way too much credit.
I am no miracle drug.
If I were medicine, my only side effect would be making people incredibly lazy. Hearing this, her tense shoulders relaxed with a soft sigh of relief, even if it is a medicine with side effects.
I will still take it. Lucian, stop pretending. For the rest of your life, you can only stay by my side as my exclusive side effect.
I blushed red as a tomato. My heart was pounding like crazy. This literally feels like a chapter from some possessive CEO romance novel.
Help me! A professional slacker like me is getting hit on this hard. This is definitely not good for my health.
This is completely unscientific. In that case, you have to pay me. An exclusive drug like me costs an absolute fortune.
I stumbled over my words, putting up a desperate last stand. She laughed softly and leaned in, her warm breath brushing against my ear.
I will give you everything I have. Is that enough for you? After that fateful night, my life changed completely.
Shen Qingchu actually started learning from me, slowly transforming into quite a lazy slacker herself. 1 month later, in a quiet courtyard south of the city, I was resting comfortably in a rocking chair. Our powerful president was on a stool, clumsily peeling a pomegranate. I bet you guys did not expect this. Lucian, what is on your mind?
I thought, if a gentle breeze blew right now,
And peach blossoms fell straight into our wine jar. Should we call it Breeze on the Branch? Or maybe a tipsy Qingchu?
How incredibly cheesy. That second name does not fit at all. Suddenly, her hands, which were peeling the pomegranate, stopped completely.
A tipsy Qingchu actually sounds pretty good. I do not think it is cheesy at all. My face immediately flushed red again.
What a pain. How am I supposed to survive without a single ounce of privacy? You literally know everything crossing my mind.
How will I ever complain about you behind your back in the future? Well, you can just say it to my face. She slid a bowl full of peeled pomegranates in front of me and naturally laid her head down on my lap. I put my straw fan aside and gently stroked her hair. You know, this is not so bad. I always thought slacking off was a solo activity. But doing it together doubles the connection. Even if the entire world falls apart tomorrow, as long as we are in this cozy courtyard. Listening to the wind, smelling the wine, and having you right beside me, I feel like I have absolutely everything.
Shen Qingchu closed her eyes and let out his satisfied murmur. Do you like it? My world used to be in absolute quiet silence. Every little noise felt annoying and deafening to me. But now, the steady beating of your chest changes everything.
Your inner complaints and weird random thoughts have become the beautiful fireworks that light up my dark world.
Lucian, thank you so much for letting me step into what you call your ruins, and thank you for reaching out to save me from my own sterile desert.
The sunset fell slowly, stretching our silhouettes long across the yard as we leaned into each other.
How could this place ever look like ruins? It is a paradise that absolutely anyone would envy, right? But seriously, Shen Qingchu, if you peel me another pomegranate and hand feed me your felf,
I promise to never go on strike again and happily remain your exclusive medicine for life. She slowly opened her eyes.
In that exact instant, her eyes seemed to hold an entire bright and beautiful galaxy.
Without warning, she sat up and planted a sweet fruit-scented kiss on my lips. Deal, her voice echoed directly inside the depths of my mind.
And trust me, that was the sweet melody that would completely melt our hearts.